how they gave you the option of using the Falcon armor. I guess that was sort of their way of sort of making up for the absence of Zero, even though he's unlockable. And I liked how X could use the Z-Saber. That was kind of cool. That actually made up for it, to be honest. I could have played that game as X if I wanted, and I think I did too. But then I unlocked Zero, and I was like, sweet, Zero. And then I saw how he played different. He played more like the way he does in Mega Man X8, but in 2D form. And yeah, that was a nice game. And of course, I didn't notice at first that it had his little Z-Buster. That wasn't until Mega Man X5. I played Mega Man X5, and then I saw that he could do that. And then I checked to see if he could do that in X6. I also am aware that Mega Man X6 wasn't supposed to be made. I did hear about how the series was supposed to end at 5. And then, I don't know, someone like messed up, and it's like, they decided to, make Mega Man X6, and, then they continue on with 7 and 8. Though I wonder, though, if they could have just stopped with 6. I mean, Sigma didn't appear for the longest time, so maybe they should have just said, like, Sigma was dead, and then this new enemy arrives, and they kill him. It's like, the story is over, that kind of stuff. But, they wanted to make a X7 and X8, and that's perfectly fine. And then as time went on, I got my PS2, and like I said earlier, I did manage to replay Mega Man X5. But this was back when I actually started purchasing the Mega Man games, because I wanted to get them all. And I remember how easy it was, too. It was actually pretty easy. Of course, I did the whole Black Zero thing. But I felt like the game was pretty easy. Plus, I had the guy with me, so I actually knew what I was doing. And of course, nowadays I can beat like 2 bosses, but I'm stuck on that one boss, the friggin' whale guy. I just don't have enough HP. Anyway, I got my PS2, like I tried to say earlier, and I got 2 games to start with. I got Kingdom Hearts, and then I got Mega Man X7. So let's talk about Mega Man X7. The game, starting off, it was pretty nice. I liked the voiceovers. It was nice to have English voiceovers. I didn't really have a standard for the voice acting, though, so I didn't really expect anything. I did think X sounded hilarious. I always made fun of him, like, I don't want any more violence, da 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 da. That's my impersonation of Peter Von Grom, by the way. And Zero, he sounded cool. It makes sense. He was the big tough guy, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go beat up everyone. And, Axel made sense. He was kind of young, so he sounded like a little girl. Then, of course, Mega Man X Command Mission came out, and that's when we got the other voice actors. But anyway, going back to Mega Man X7, that game's gameplay, it was nice. It was different. I mean, I didn't really like how the characters looked so bulky in 3D. It almost like it was a complete transition from 2D to 3D. Unlike Mega Man X8, where it's more of like a redesigning, sort of. It actually is literally a redesign. I'll get to that in a minute. And yeah, I played the game. I got to the fight with the red guy, and I don't think I ever finished it. I tried to, but it was kind of hard. That game, I kind of liked it. I heard that they were trying to make the game different, make it a little more easier by making it to where you can beat any boss without using any of their special weapons, but you have to use like a super amount of strategy. Which makes sense. I mean, it's Mega Man, which is another point I'll have to get to. And so, yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. I don't remember much about the music. But, oh yeah, and I also liked how you didn't have to select your character and play their each respective story. I liked how you could just play as all the characters from the get-go. And it was even a little interesting how X wasn't playable, though, believe it or not, I actually wanted to get X. I wanted to play as him. It's like, this is nice and all, but I feel like this isn't about Mega Man. This should be about Mega Man. I know that Zero was originally supposed to be the main character of Mega Man X, but, he's not the main character of X. He's a very important character, but X is the main character of Mega Man X, so, I mean, it's only natural that even though my favorite character is Zero, I want to at least have Mega Man X playable. And so, yeah. And then got Mega Man X8. Like I said earlier, this one was a bit of a redesign. I think it looked better than Mega Man X7. Yeah, Mega Man X8 looks a lot better than Mega Man X8. And you know what? I also heard that Mega Man X8 looks better. I'm just being retarded. Anyway, And so I played that. That was actually a nice game. I liked it better than Mega Man X7. It was fun, and of course they used the newer voice actors, the Canadian ones. Lucas Gilbertson as Zero. Mark Gartha, Shining Finger as X, the guy who did Domon and G Gundam. And also, I can't remember the name of the guy who did Axel, but interestingly enough, he was Axel's voice actor. Was the same guy who did Goku in the last part of the original Dragon Ball anime during the Piccolo Jr. and Tenkaichi Budokai stuff, and the Canadian dub of Dragon Ball Z. Isn't that interesting? He kind of sounds like Peter Kalamis, so that makes sense. But I still prefer Sean Shamel. Anyway, and then of course I got Mega Man X Collection. I kind of been I'll be honest, I'm mixing up the order here, but I'm still at least talking about stuff. I like this one because it gave me a chance to play all the games all the Mega Man X1 through 3, even, and I already had X4 through 8, or X1 through 6, 4 through 6. God damn it. Anyway, and it was fun. I enjoyed playing the older games. I don't even think I can get past the story stage from X2 though. I can do it in X1 and X3, but I don't think I can do it in X2. I can't remember. But yeah, that was fun. You know, playing the other games was fun too. I could, use an analog stick when using the game. I think you could do that anyway, though I can't remember. I was expecting this game though, because I figured, okay, they're doing an Anniversary Collection, which I'll get to in a minute. So they're going to have to, do a Mega Man X Collection. That only makes sense. The X series is over. And so, yeah, so I played it. It was nice. I enjoyed it. I play it every now and then whenever I actually just feel like playing Mega Man, though I don't really play it that often. And of course, moving on to the game that came before this one, Mega Man Anniversary Collection. I of course got this game. It gave me a chance to play the Mega Man games that I missed out on as a child. The only one that I had played out of the bunch was Mega Man 8, and that was nice. I did enjoy its. I liked its little its menu thing where it was just Mega Man going through doors. That was kind of nice. And I enjoyed playing the old Mega Man games. They were pretty fun. I do remember trying to get the Power Battle stuff, and so I played through or got far in Mega Man X3. I enjoyed that one. I actually got far on that one. I beat all the regular Robot Masters, and I got the secret ones. And that was kind of nice. And then of course I got the Power Battles things, and that's the one I enjoy. I like that one because it's a friggin' multiplayer Mega Man game. That's fun to play. I could finally play Mega Man with my friends. Yeah, Orphan and I played Mega Man X8, and we took turns. Played as Zero, he played as Axel. But yeah, this was actually the first time my friends and I could play Mega Man, at the same time. We could play as, characters we wanted to, sort of. I mean, it was the original series, and I saw how the second one included Duo. I think his name is Duo, Dio, whatever his name is, the alien robot guy from 8. That was kind of nice. I mainly played as either Proto Man or Bass. And also, before I close out on that, I need to bring up one point. In part of they said in the box, I think, or somewhere on like the website or something, they said that the Power Fighters and the Power Battles had never been released in America. I don't know about the Power Fighters, but I know the Power Battles did come out in America. I know that for because I've seen it. I saw it in an arcade. It was at like US Play or something. It might have just been that one, and heck, maybe it was an arcade machine imported from Japan. But it was available. It was there for me to play, so it did come out in English, or at least was in America. I don't know. I don't think I ever played it though. That's more or less my history on Mega Man. So I'm gonna move on to the more current games. They're not completely current, but they are sort of previous generation Mega Man. And let me start with Mega Man Zero. I was looking forward to the Mega Man Zero series. I think, sweet, I can play a game where Zero is the main character. It's gonna be awesome. I didn't, though, although I thought that, deep down, I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, it's like, oh, okay. I mean, he looked different, which was fine, but I could still tell that it was Zero. I was looking forward to it, and then I got it Christmas. I started playing it, and I don't know, it looked really dark and grimy. You know, it's like, I don't know. That's how Zero lost his memory. That was sort of a turnoff for me. But I didn't really like. I don't know. I'm not real big on memory loss story plots. I mean, that's fine and all. It worked out in the end. Of course, now I don't care. I mean, he can lose his memory 10 more times if he wants. But at the time, I didn't like it, and so I switched over to Dragon Ball Z Legendary Super Warriors, which is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. Why? I'm not going to tell you. Anyway, and so I played that. That was fun. And of course, after I got over the whole thing, I started playing Mega Man Zero again. I got reasonably far. I kind of found it interesting how you could like retreat from, you know, you could retreat from missions and it would count as being finished or at least being done, and you could skip parts of the story. Like I was able to get to Neo Arcadia. Like the first part of Neo Arcadia is like, wow. I was able to beat like some of the bosses, but overall the game was still incredibly hard. It was like probably the hardest Mega Man game, I don't know. I found it still pretty fun to play, and I still try to play it. And of course, as the fan I am, I waited for Mega Man Zero 2. That was a nice game. El Pizo was interesting. I don't know if it's El Pizo or El Paizo, but I say El Pizo. He was an interesting kind of character. It was nice to see sort of a different villain, even though even though Zero Series hadn't really had an established villain yet. Quickly going back to Mega Man Zero, I thought it was interesting how X, in some shape or form, I know it's Copy X, but it's still a form of X, was the villain. That was kind of interesting. Anyway, I played Mega Man Zero 2, and it was nice. It was still hard. I think it might even be a little bit harder than Mega Man Zero 1. It was still fun. Like I said, El Pizo was an interesting character. Of course, because I could never finish it, I never did. I looked up some info on it. I saw how X more or less made an appearance, like the actual regular X, even though he was asleep. Then El Pizo was like, die! And unleashed the Dark Elf, then became all evil and demonic. And then, of course, had to fight him and whatnot. I didn't fight him at the time, but I did get a chance to actually go through all 4 games pretty easily. And that was an interesting thing. I saw how, you could do the whole thing where like you get the different armors. I didn't care about their stats either. I just wanted them because I wanted to have Zero in different colors. I saw there's like an X-Men. I was like, oh sweet. And it was nice. I do remember that one Phoenix boss where like he had that one attack where he would stun Zero and then he'd bring up all these mirages of Zero's past foes, and the last one was like Colonel or something. That was interesting. And now let's move on to Mega Man Zero 3. This one I do like a lot because I was actually able to finish this one without any problems. I actually was able to beat this game. I've beaten it like 6 or 7 times. It's like been a file playthrough, so it's not like I made like 6 or 7 new files. But I was able to finish the game. It was fun. That's really one of the reasons why I like it, because this one I was able to finish. And I liked how it brought in Dr. Wile. That was interesting, and I liked how they brought back Copy X. That was different. But it was kind of nice seeing Dr. Wile because he's more or less the Dr. Wily of the Zero series. Kind of like how Sigma is the Dr. Wily of the X series. Not necessarily personality-wise, but as far as like core villain, the returning villain that keeps returning, even though Dr. Wile only appeared for 2 games while Sigma appeared for all of them. And Dr. Wily appeared for all of them, for their each respective series. And with Mega Man Zero 3, that was a nice game. And I also liked the whole little plot twist about how Zero was actually Copy Zero, or a copy of Zero. Like, the body was a copy, but, his soul, his like heart was like the same. So he was Zero, but he was just in a different body. Then he had to destroy Omega, which actually turned out to be Zero's original body. I think it would have been cool if they